Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology. It's been a while, and unfortunately, my schedule is still chock full, so I haven't been able to line up with my brother or anyone else for that matter to run those last couple of multiplayer missions that I can't do solo. But with that being said, until that happens, I figured I could just skip ahead to the aircraft showcases that I wanted to do for all the other aircraft in the game that we haven't played as. And to start with, we'll be doing, and we're just going to be going top to bottom any of the aircraft that I never played as. It's probably going to be very brief for stuff like Air Force One. Was Air Force One ever in any of our missions? I don't know now. But but yeah, like that, the Airbus, or like the E2 where there's really nothing to do. They're probably going to be brief and boring, to be honest. But today we're actually going to be doing something that should have been part of the Vietnam showcase set. And I missed it, unfortunately, but we're getting to it now, and that's the A-1 Skyraider. So we are going to set up a mission for that. There we go. So basically the mission I'm gonna try to set up. There we go. Truck convoy. Mostly lightly defended. And how do I want to play this? We'll put these down to two, two, and two. So probably have some F4Gs. We'll run at 5,000 feet because we're prop. Start at 10 miles. And then probably F8 Crusaders here. There we go. Custom loadout. We're gonna say overcast. I guess we will do 10,000. And we'll say the Vietnamese are scrambling. 2 MiG-21s. And 2 MiG-17s. So hopefully the Phantoms and Crusaders will be able to give us cover for that. And actually eliminate the SAMs to make it a moderate AA zone. Feel like that's fair. And this is actually a pretty decent loadout. The only thing I might try to change is, can we... Nope. 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 Although I wonder... Nope, not available. Okay. Nope. We'll take bombs instead, just because rockets are so fucking useless in this game, which is really a shame. Truck convoys would be one thing they would actually be really good at, but... Oh, we can take cluster bombs, actually. Do that. Fuel air explosives. That might be something we would have done. Or no, these aren't fuel air explosive bombs. These are the Russian bombs. That's right. Oh, can we actually fit these on? Nope. Okay, I'd rather have 2. So I think this is pretty decent for our loadout. So let's go in. Really? Oh, you know what? It's because they don't have. Ooh, that's another thing. Nope, can't, maybe in the center line, yeah. Or the, oh, really, only one? Okay, yeah, that's not worth it then. And actually, instead of the extra fuel, this is supposed to be a pretty short mission. Ooh, actually, yeah, let's replace these with that, and, yep, we got one 2,000 pounder. So with that, let's begin. Alright. So no working IR seeker. The props are actually pretty loud. Let's see. We're gonna have him attack vehicles. We'll go in. Well, we're gonna go in and suppress the anti-air defenses. Oh wow, we look ancient. Whee! No working jammers found. So we are fully reliant on our escort. Actually, I'm kind of... Is that a SAM? No. Alright, we should be breaking through the cloud cover any minute. There we go. Alright, where are you? Alright, not in visual range yet. There's the MiG-21. We'll have to check our 6. Then you'll notice they are reusing the, Oh, there's actually a SAM right here, or AAA right here. And you'll notice they are reusing the A-7 cockpit for this vehicle. Alright. And yeah, we are not going to be very fast at all in this thing because, you know, again, purple prop. Whew, there we go. Alright, let's trust that that's going to hit. Oh, perfect. Alright. We got some more AAA to take out here. Alright, our wingman's knocking out those trucks. And I think this is actually a pretty standard mission for the Skyraiders. Would be attacks on convoys for the Viet Cong like this, as well as on performing close air support missions for troops on the front line. Alright, let's hope that one's another hit. We're so slow that we... Oh yeah, that should be good. Yep. We are golden. Alright, let's speed up here. Oh. Passed him right by. Alright, that should hit him. There we go. Well, they got a temporary bridge, but what we can do to to stop them from crossing it. And the Vietnamese did use a lot of these temporary bridges because one of the primary missions that that United States forces undertook would be to bomb these every bridge. So, ow. All right. There we go. A miss, but a hit. Okay, let's hope that that snake eye there manages to hit. Unfortunately, the Skyraider is pretty armored because of its World War II origins. Oh. What? Oh no, we missed. We got 2 more Mark 82s here. ZSU-23, those I'm pretty sure did not exist, which makes me angry. Alright, let's try this again. Before this thing fucking shreds me. Oh no, I've been hit. There we go. Alright, now we've really gotta pick up the pace here because we will bleed out in 15 minutes. There we go. Let's drop a few cluster bombs here. There we go. Alright, we still have one more AS-12 here. Let's knock him out. And let's go in for a dive bomb attack. Our wingman just got blasted, it seems. Alright, we got 2 more Mark 82s. And at this point, kind of just knocking these guys out with guns. Oh, our bombs fell well short of their intended targets there. It's a problem with blind aiming, and you can tell this CSIP was definitely meant for the jets of this game. Because this is just too slow to really lock on to something unless you're dive bombing. Alright, mission accomplished. Oh, we are not going to make it home. We are all the way in the north. There's also no carrier or friendly airfield. So I'm really disappointed. I was going to land this on carrier and you know, spend the ride back talking about the Skyraider's history like I normally do. But it seems that is not on the menu today, so we'll probably finish it off with a strafing run on this anti-air site with our they'd probably be 20 mils, I think. I guess I'll know once I read the history. But all right, let's slow it down so I have a little more time here before my pilot passes out and dies. So the Skyraider, specifically the Douglas A-1 Skyraider or the A-1 Skyraider before the aircraft designation realignment system. And it looks like we have control damage too. Oh, no, there we go. There we go, just have the autopilot fly for me. So the Skyraider is an American single-seat attack aircraft that served from 1946 to the early 1980s, which is a remarkably long and successful career. And because it was pretty much the only frontline piston engine combat aircraft in service throughout much of the jet age, it was nicknamed the SPAD after the French World War I fighter. And it was primarily operated by the United States Navy and Marine Corps, as well as the United States Air Force, but was also exported and saw service with the British Royal Navy, the French Air Force, and the Republic of Vietnam Air Force, which is the South Vietnamese Air Force. And it remained in U.S. service until the 70s. So the piston engine propeller Skyraider was designed during World War II to basically be a replacement for aircraft like the SPD Dauntless, the Curtiss SB-2C Helldiver, and the Grumman TBF Avenger. It was designed by Ed Heinemann of the Douglas Aircraft Company, and prototypes were ordered as early as the 6th of July 1944, and it made its first flight on the 18th of March 1945. In December 1946, they changed the designation to AD-1 from the prototype designation XB-T2D1 and XB-T2D2. And the first deliveries were made available in December of 1946, so after the war concluded. It was primarily built at Douglas's El Segundo plant in Southern California. And the low-wing monoplane design started with the Wright R3350 duplex Cyclone radial engine, which was upgraded over the course of its life. Aircraft had large straight wings with 7 hardpoints apiece, which is allowed it to carry many more bombs than the World War II dive bombers and torpedo bombers it was meant to replace. It had excellent maneuverability at low speed, and it could carry all that ordnance over a considerable combat radius. It had a long loiter time for its size, too, compared to the heavier jet aircraft, even the subsonic ones. And because it was optimized for ground and naval attack, it was armored against ground fire in key locations, unlike the faster fighters that were adapted to carry bombs like the Corsair or the P-51 Mustang, both of which were retired before the 1960s. Now, shortly before this was designed, there was a study that found that for every 100 pounds of weight reduction, the takeoff run was decreased by 8 feet, the combat radius increased by 22 miles, and the rate of climb increased by 18 feet per minute. So, when Heidemann learned of this, he found he wanted to put as much weight savings into this aircraft as possible, no matter how small. So they simplified the fuel system, 270 pounds gone. Eliminating the internal bomb bay and hanging stores externally, that saved 200 pounds. Using a fuselage-based dive brake as opposed to the wing-based ones that U.S. dive bombers typically used, 70 pounds. And they saved 100 pounds by using an older tailwheel design. So in the end, they achieved an 1,800-pound reduction on their original prototype for this. So the AD series was initially painted in an ANA 623 glossy sea blue, but during the 1950s, following the Korean War, the color scheme was changed to a light dull gray and white, which I think is what they're trying to simulate here. Although it ends up in the game, it ends up coming off more greenish than anything. And that was Fed Standard 595-27875. And initially using the gray and white Navy scheme, by 1967 the Air Force began to paint their Skyraiders in a two-tone camouflage pattern. Actually, it's three-tone, my bad. Which was a two-tone green and one-tone tan. And the Skyraider was used most notably in Korea and Vietnam by the Navy, where it was primary close air support for the Air Force and the Republic of Vietnam Air Force during the Vietnam War. And because of the armor left over from its World War II vintage, it was able to take hits and keep flying, particularly in the cockpit area. But it was replaced in the mid-1960s by the A-6 Intruder as the Navy's primary medium attack plane in supercarrier-based rings, but they continued to operate from the smaller Essex-class aircraft carriers. It went through a lot of different versions, starting with the A-1, then the A-2, A-3. Were we passing, we just flew by a vehicle or something. Let's see, where are we now? Oh, we're getting there. Or is that my aircraft? Because I don't see anything on, I think there's also supposed to be, like, some camel... Yeah. Okay, so that's basically the camouflaged, AAA. Which is annoying, because you can't target it. So that's basically representing AAA in like jungle areas or farmlands where there's tall vegetation obscuring them from view, which the game basically just makes them invisible. Hey, look, a little cow or something. Moose. But yeah, fortunately they seem to not be very accurate. Especially considering we're very slow in flying in a straight line here. So the 84 was one of the bigger changes with the more powerful R3350-26 WA engine. And the 85 was significantly widened, allowing two crews to sit side by side. It also came in a 4-seat night attack version, the 85M, and then the 86 was an improved 84B with improved low-level bombing equipment. The final production version, 87, was upgraded to an R3350-26 WE engine. For service in Vietnam, USAF Skyraiders were fitted with the Stanley Yankee extraction system, which acted in a manner similar to an injection seat, with twin rockets extracting a pilot from the cockpit. In addition to serving during Korean and Vietnam as an attack aircraft, the Skyraider was modified to serve as carrier-based airborne early warning aircraft, replacing the Grumman TBM-3W Avenger, and it fulfilled this function before it was replaced by the Grumman E-1 Tracer in USN service and the Ferry Gannett in Royal Navy service. Production ended in 1937 with a total of 3,180 having been built. And in 1962, the existing Skyraiders were redesignated A-1D through A-1J and later used by both the USAF and the Navy Vietnam War. Oh, there is our pilot dying from taking that 23 mil to the shoulder or something, but we successfully completed the mission. Unfortunately, our wingman took a hit too, just the way he suddenly went out. I'm wondering if it wasn't, if he didn't get a direct hit from one of those 105s that were shooting at us. He did jack shit. He took out a whole 2 trucks, whereas we took out 5 large caliber AAA guns, 1 ZSU-23, which I think is anachronistic, 15 vehicles, and 2 structures, which were the temp bridges. Yeah, I was hoping for low caliber AA in the M1923, I think it is, or M1924, which was basically a towed twin barrel 23mm anti-aircraft system. And, we saw plenty of those in the Vietnam campaign. So I'm kind of surprised they just let's slap a ZSU-23 in there. It's like, no. So we hit, our guns had a 16% hit percentage, which I guess it's not that bad. Obviously, there's the thing with this game where targets don't have a hitbox for guns beyond a mile. And we have an 81% bomb hit percentage, and our wingman has 100%, so I guess he's got that going for him. And AAA had a total accuracy of 8%, dealing 176 damage to us. I guess just to briefly finish now that we've run out of time. Operational history obviously was too late to be produced for use in World War II, but was kind of the backbone of U.S. aircraft carrier air wings and Marine Corps strike aircraft wings in the Korean War, where it distinguished itself pretty well. And they also made the only aerial torpedo attack of the war on the 2nd of May 1951, hitting the Hwacheon Dam, which was then controlled by North Korea. And their only documented air-to-air victory in that war was on the 16th of June 1953, when a Marine 84 from VMC-1, piloted by Major George H. Lindemeyer and Chief Weapon Officer Vernon S. Kramer, shot down a Soviet-built Polikarpov PO-2 biplane. And on the 26th of July 1954, 2 Douglas Skyraiders from the aircraft carriers USS Philippine Sea and Hornet shut down 2 Chinese PLAAF Lavochikin fighters off the coast of Hainan Island. Those are Soviet World War II era fighters, by the way. While searching for survivors after the shooting down of Cathay Pacific Douglas DC-4 Skymaster 3 days previously, which that aircraft was a civilian airliner that was shot down by the People's Liberation Army Air Force off the coast of Hainan Island. Well, it was en route from Bangkok to Hong Kong, killing 10 of 19 passengers and all the crew on board. And once again, during the Vietnam War, the A-1 Skyraider distinguished itself once again, serving as the backbone of American carrier airstrikes against ground targets during the early parts of the war, and when it was partially replaced by the A-6 Intruder. They tended to be more in a close combat, used more in a close combat and convoy interdiction role. The Skyraiders did get a couple of air-to-air victories. They downed 2 North Vietnamese MiG-17 fighter jets, the first on the 20th of June 1965, by Lieutenant Clinton B. Johnson and Lieutenant Junior Grade Charles W. Hartman III of VA-25, which coincidentally was also the first gun kill of the Vietnam War. The other was on the 9th of October 1966 by Lieutenant Junior Grade William T. Patton of VA-176. And as these were slowly retired from U.S. service, the Skyraiders were given to the Republic of Vietnam Air Force, so they could be used to provide ground support for South Vietnamese troops. They did take some fairly heavy losses, being low and slow. And eventually, after the war, in addition to being replaced by the A-6 Intruder, they were also replaced by Douglas A-4 Skyhawks or the A-7 Corsair II. The Republic of Vietnam obviously used them during the war, where they were a close air support workhorse. United Kingdom acquired 5080-4W early warning aircraft in 1951. They were operated by 849 Naval Air Squadron, which provided 4-plane detachments for British carriers and saw action in the Suez Crisis. But the Farragut AEW.3 replaced them using the same radar. So they were retired by 1962. Sweden actually bought 14 of those ex-British A-1 Skyraiders. They ended up being used as target tugs. France, their Air Force bought 20 ex-USN 84s, as well as 88 ex-USN 84Ns and 5 ex-USN 84NAs. And they were acquired to replace the aging Republic P-47 Thunderbolts in Algeria. So they had a short career in Algeria where they served as a counterinsurgency aircraft and remained in limited service until the 1970s. They were also involved in the Civil War in Chad, first with the French Air Force and then later with the Chadian Air Force staffed by French mercenaries. They also operated in Djibouti and Madagascar. And then eventually France passed on their remaining inventory to Gabon, Chad, Cambodia, and the Central African Republic. So variants, obviously there were those incremental improvements. There are electronic countermeasures versions, AEW versions. I'm not going to read through them all because there's a billion of them. They were also operated by Thailand as well, probably, and Cambodia, probably as a result of the U.S. intervention in Vietnam. As far as specifications go, crew of, well, depending on variant, anywhere from 1 to 4. Fuel capacity of 380 U.S. gallons on internal tanks with a gross weight of 18,106 pounds, empty weight of 11,968 pounds. Maximum speed of 322 miles per hour and cruise speed of 198 miles per hour with a 1,300 mile range. Service ceiling 28,500 feet. And they are armed, as I suspected, 4 20mm AN/M3 cannons with 200 rounds per gun and not an M61 Vulcan. Kind of surprised they didn't just give it the Colt 20mm cannon, because they have that on the F8 and on the F5, I believe, in this game. So the fact that they gave it a pair of M61s is confusing, to say the least. And the AN/M3s were just regular, single barrel 20mm autocannon, pretty standard before everyone went to, Gatling style or revolver style cannons. And then hardpoints had 15 external hardpoints with a capacity of 8,000 pounds, with provisions to carry combinations of various bombs, torpedoes, mine dispensers, unguided rockets, and gun pods, amongst other things. And that's about it for the A1D. So I hope you enjoyed the little bit of history, and we'll see what we end up doing next time later. Until then, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.